The six-part HBO miniseries The Plot Against America, starring Winona Ryder, Zoe Kazan and John Turturro, is based on Philip Roth's 2004 novel of the same title. An alternate history drama, it's an epic what-if story that imagines an America in which the 1940 presidential election resulted not in a third term for Franklin D. Roosevelt, but in a victory for a Republican ticket headed by Charles A. Lindbergh. Roth called his book, based on his own Jewish family's experiences, an exercise in historical imagination, and his story is told from their perspective as they're increasingly alienated from each other and disaffected by the way events unfold. The series was created by David Simon and his longtime collaborator Ed Burns, responsible for some of the greatest shows in this new era of TV, which they helped to create with The Wire. The director is the in-demand Minky Spiro, who came to notice with her work on British series called The Midwife and Downton Abbey. The first densely textured episode begins in 1940s Newark, New Jersey. The war overseas featuring on the newsreels at the local cinema. France has surrendered to Germany, and the Blitzkrieg seems unstoppable. Jewish refugees are denied entry to the US and strict border controls are in place. Public opinion is against the Jews, many Americans wanting them deported. But life goes on for the Levins, who live peacefully in a Jewish neighbourhood on Summit Avenue. Things are even looking up when the father of the household, Herman, Morgan Spector, is in line for a promotion at Metropolitan Life Insurance. And he contemplates moving homes with his wife, Zoe Kazan-Bess, and kids, young Philip, Ashley Robertson, who loves his stamp collection, and teenage Sandy, Caleb Mellis, a talented kid with his drawing pencils rarely absent from his fingers. This depression has knocked prices down, Herman tells the kids. But when the family check out a property in Gentile Union County, they're abused by drunken anti-Semites, the sounds of the militant German songs echoing from the local corner Brauhaus. It's a scene full of foreboding and threat, a sense of anxiety becoming more palpable as the episode develops.
What are you looking at? Hey, you did.
Herman, scenes drive.
Goddamn fascist bastards.
A crucial radio broadcast in the first episode, Herman, an avid listener to news and reader of newspapers, shows how Lindbergh's unwavering nationalist convictions commit him to keeping the US out of the war. And he vilifies the Jews as alien warmongers, indifferent to America's interests. It's a decisive moment for Herman Levin and his friends and neighbours as they begin to realise just what the new world might hold for them, their expectations for their country profoundly shaken.
I think this is such a fine series. It's beautifully produced, really nicely directed. Performances are stunning.
Yes.
Zoe Kazan is just lovely as Bess. Morgan Spector, who's, the rather dogmatic head of this family. And Anthony Boyle plays his younger brother. His young nephew.
His nephew, yes, who's a rather wild one, isn't he?
Well, that was about the only thing that I queried, because Alvin, at the end of the first episode, is sort of like a bit of a wild thing.
Yes.
At the beginning of the next episode, he's chauffeuring a car for a pig of a man because Herman's organised it for him. So there was a bit of a schism there in continuity of narrative.
No, you're ahead of me again, Margaret. I'm only at the end of the first episode.
I've watched 3, or is it 4 now? And I think it's so fine and actually so disturbing because of things that are happening in America at the moment. It's scary, this...
Well, Simon was initially a little reluctant. He'd read the book and I think was not hugely impressed, but then the more he thought about it, he wanted to do something after Trump got into power that was about the rise of an oligarch. And that's what he's given us.
I'm actually really moved by it.
It's so densely textured, isn't it? Well, anything that David Simon has done is densely textured. He gives us a real sense of place.
Oh, and community. You're really inside this Jewish community, and it's revelatory, I think. It's beautiful. So I would give this 4.5 stars.
I'll give it 4.5 as well. I can't wait to see the rest of it, Margaret, as you're so far ahead of me.
We have to get out.
They've closed the borders.
This is my country.
Not anymore. It is the Jew haters. It is the America firsters. It's their country.
the 33rd President of the United States, Charles.
What just happened?